I own mistakes, and I recognize that this is a mistake that I made. I really should have been more focused. And in truth, it will ride me. It will affect me. I will think about it constantly. I'll wake up with it on my mind. I'll sleep with it on my mind until the next time I have to make amends. It may not be with the same people, but it may be a similar scenario. And I know that I'll be on top of my game at that time.
That's been a challenge for me. I think it's naturally a human reaction to want to pass off blame. Being a business banker, I think that has really carried me to a place throughout my steps in growing in my organization. That is something that I've had to learn the hard way. Owning comes down to accountability, and it's a tough pill to swallow, but it comes back to reflection. If it is that you can reflect and look at a situation and determine that even if it is you're not in the wrong, do I take accountability for it? And once you take accountability for it, then you're in control of the situation. I started reading a book that spoke to accountability. And he was speaking about the fact that to gain success, you need to take accountability for everything. And it doesn't matter if it's your fault. It doesn't matter if the other person had a larger role to play. The mere fact that you take accountability for everything and you control it, then you can determine the outcome. So that's really what accountability comes down to.
So if it starts with that it's your own mistake, it's your own mistake. And if I've made a mistake, it means I've actually put an effort into something. So I have done something, and maybe it wasn't the right something, but I did something. And I have failed at a lot of things. I have failed at things that I thought I would have thrived in, but they weren't for me, but there was a lesson in them. And I needed that particular lesson for the next step in the journey. I have my self-pity days too. I have my days where I'm not feeling confident or I'm feeling insecure about something. And I do have to stop to ask myself, why? Why do you feel this way? Why do you feel this way? When I make a mistake, I look back to say, did you have a plan? Was it that you didn't have a plan, so you never even checked on this thing properly? Or that you did have a plan, but it was just the wrong plan? And then I have to stop and say, thank you, God, that you took me through this. What is the learning from this? It's so funny because I read a devotional this morning that was about mistakes and about trusting the moving on. Trusting that it's all a part of your blueprint. So it is owning the things about you that are fantastic and the things about you that you're not so proud of.
Mistakes. Owning your mistakes, I think, is a challenge for a lot of people. But I think for me, where mistakes are concerned, I hold myself accountable for my mistakes and even the mistakes of others, my team members, for example. I own it all. I take responsibility, and it is something that I teach my children each and every day. Take responsibility. Don't blame anybody. Don't pass it on. Accept it, manage it, deal with it, learn from it.
So own it. They say what? They say success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan, I think. Yeah. I just own it. I just own it, and I just use it as my opportunity to learn. And I think it's a mistake if it happens once. If it happens twice, it's like a pattern. So I try to say, okay, what did I do wrong? What could I have prevented? Because we're not infallible, and people say luck doesn't exist. I may agree or disagree, but we all have our little thing that will happen. Something will happen. It's just to make sure it's not the disaster it could be. People, I think, try to deflect, and they don't take accountability. And then that moment or opportunity to learn is lost. And then what happens is you go through the same thing again. Just because you would not in the moment own that this thing happened and take your licks. Okay, we all have to take our licks. Everybody.